What's going on, everybody? Sorry about the late response. Was putting my headphones on and they broke, so had to grab the black ones. So yeah, that's pretty much how that went. I apologize for that. So let's get the show started because I'm pretty late now. It's almost 30 minutes late. I'm sorry about that, but welcome to another exciting episode of Unplugged. It's your boy Pico the City Black, or Pico Black. How's everybody doing? Good day, great day, wonderful day, blessed day. Oh wow. You already know where to find me at. You can find me on YouTube. You can find this on YouTube. You can also find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Pico Black 74. My YouTube is Pico Black. Hit that notification bell, that subscription button, that subscribe button. And I'm also on TikTok at Pico City. Now, question came up yesterday when I was at this. Well, if you don't know, I went to a skating event yesterday, and I was talking to a couple of guys, and they wanted me to talk about. They wanted me to talk about a question that somebody had brought up, and I just titled it. Is there a difference between love for a man and love for a woman? Is there a difference between love for a man and love for a woman? Now, we can go with this any kind of way as usual, but oh wow, that's a good question because we are two different species of the same. So it's a lot going around about men love and women love because no wait, actually before I start this, don't take this stuff to heart. I'm not trying this to offend anybody, hurt nobody's feeling, or disrespect nobody in no shape, form, or fashion. I'm a podcaster. This is what I do. So here we go. A woman will want a man's love. Unconditional love. That's fine. But a woman will love a man with conditions. So remember that. A woman will want love, unconditional love from a man. But a woman will give a man love with conditions. There's conditions to loving a man, but a woman wants unconditional love from a man. Well, let's just put it this way. A woman won't go, well, I'm not gonna say all women, but some women won't go with a man that don't have a job, that's not employed, that don't have his life together at that point in time, in which that's fine, but you have to remember, that's a condition. So when I say women want men to love them unconditionally, and women will love men with conditions. He gotta have a car, he's gotta have a home, he's gotta be able to pay his own bills, he gotta be able to take care of himself. Those are conditions, whether we like it or not. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. How you doing, Aisha? Thanks for watching. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but careful how you say things because you can't expect somebody to love you unconditionally, but you giving them love with conditions. It don't work like that. The days of old were much better. People stayed together because they actually loved each other. You have people today, husbands and wives divorce each other for conditions, but you pretty much see women leaving men for conditions. I left him because he lost his job. I left him because he couldn't do this. I left him because he couldn't do that. He couldn't pay the bills. Like I told you guys before, I was watching a show, I think it was Divorce Court, and a woman said she left her husband because he turned down the promotion and she's wanting bigger and better things. That's loving a man with conditions. If you want him to love you unconditionally, you have to return the same favor. You have to love him unconditionally as well. You can't put a condition on somebody you think you want to spend the rest of your life with. No, that's impossible because, like I said, men and women are somewhat cut from the same cloth a little bit. I'm not saying a big thing. We're both human. We both have hearts. We both have lungs, kidneys. We got 2 arms, legs. We can see. We can do this. We can walk and talk from baby stage to adult age to adult stage. We grow up. We walk and talk. Same thing. But like I always said, who changed the rules? Somebody changed the rules. Because you don't hear a vast majority of guys saying, you know what, if you want to be with me, you got to have a job. You got to have your own car, which is fine if you have a job and your own car. That's a beautiful thing. That's fine. I'm not tripping on that. But you can't give conditions to something you probably don't have. Well, I don't date a man that's broke. You working? No. I don't date a man that ain't got no car. You got a car? No. I don't date a man if he ain't got his own house. You got a house? No. Those are what you call conditions. And if you love somebody unconditionally, you're going to love them regardless. It's called getting together and helping each other build. And no, I'm not talking about no good men that's just not going to do anything. And even if they don't decide to do anything because you wanted to, who are you to tell that man when it's time for him to get himself together? Just like a man knows a woman he wants to marry, he knows when it's time to get himself together. You can't push that on him. I've seen too many growing up as a kid to now, too many relationships fall because of that, because he's not moving off your speed. Who the hell do you think you are? You're no better than him. He's no better than you. But yet, as we can see, take a look at the Will Smith and Jada incident. Now, we all saw Red Table Talk when Will Smith was on there. Look at the man's face. He was hurt. And I've always said this before anybody, I'm not going to say before anybody else started saying it, before it became popular. Man love was always going to be stronger than a woman's love. Because if a man loves a woman, he's going to take care of her. I mean, I was just going to say his wife. He's going to provide a house for that wife. He's going to take care of all the bills. Whatever. A woman is not going to do that. It's certain extents to women. And I'm not mad at them for doing it. That's just the way you guys are cut out to be. And that's picture perfect fine. But you have to stop putting conditions on people and your life's not together. Because if your life is not together, how you going to tell this man to get his life together and you're struggling? How about y'all struggle together and try to make something out of it? Because if he make it big, he's going to take you with him. If you make it big, there's a fat chance you might not want to be with him anymore. Because men date down. They always did. Women date up. We saw this in commercials and rappers and basketball players. They go get somebody off the block and make them their wives. I'm not saying it don't happen with the woman situation, but it's very likely to happen with women. Women date higher. If a woman become a billionaire, she's going to want somebody on, I'm going to say billionaire, a millionaire, she's going to want somebody on her level, whether we like it or not. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that because I don't want nobody coming back saying, well, Pico, you said we should date. I'm not saying y'all should date down. I'm just saying stay in your lane. If you're making $50,000 an hour, man, if you make $50,000 an hour, I'll marry you. But if you make $50,000 a year and people get preference mixed up with conditions, and you want a man that's making that amount of money, you want a man that's making higher than that, you best be on your best behavior and make sure you can at least come halfway. You making $50,000, but you want a man that make $250,000. In the real world, the one that we live in, that God made, that vaguely works. It don't work all the time. Why do you think our parents and our grandparents, if they set you down and tell stories, they started out from nothing. Most of our bloodline was slaves. They started out from nothing. He lived in a barn. She lived in a barn. They got together. They got married. God blessed them. Look at them now. But now it's conditions. Remember what I said. Unconditional conditions. I'll love you unconditionally. I'll give you children. I'll put a roof over your head. I'll provide for you. But you're going to love me with conditions. And that means, can you do it? Suppose if he can't do it. You just told this man, I love you. When you tell somebody you love them, that's all they see. She loves me. She's going to do this. She's going to do that. And the minute you lose your job, she's gone. And you wonder why men stay hurt all the time. Because it's the choices it's the choices we say in life that renders us, I always say this, that renders us powerless. Like prime example, like I just said earlier, Will Smith. Let's take a look at Will Smith. I'm not going to get into it because that's another topic. I do some more background research on that. How you doing, Tanisha? Dante, what's going on? Hey, I got my own you, Dante. Um, let's just take a look at this. Well, I don't know how true it is. I'm not gonna say allegedly because it's all over the place. Let's just say allegedly. She said, "Hey, when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, she didn't know he was gonna do that. But if you seen a look in her face, it looked like she was waiting for that to happen anyway." I'm just saying, this is just me thinking, but these are signs of women that love men with conditions. Provide, take care of the kids, pay the bills, take care of the house. Those are providing forms for a husband. Most women want these things from boyfriends. It don't work like that. It shouldn't work like that. It should never work like that. Now, like I said before, if you have a guy and he's willing to help you, have respect for that man if he's helping you. Well, you know what, sweetie? I can't pay all your bills, but I can help you out every once in a while, blah, blah, and the other. If this man say, hey, I need some help with my bills, you can't be like, well, you the man. You know why he the man? And you don't want to help him? Because he spent all his money on your bills. Now he's going to probably be homeless. He has nowhere to go because he can't turn to you because your love for him is with conditions. You have to do this, you have to do that, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. And this don't go for every woman. You have a lot of beautiful, decent women on here. You have a lot of beautiful, decent women out in the world. You have a lot of nice men that's on this show and be out in the world. I'm not talking about them, but you know who you are. And I'm not talking about anybody. I would never do that, talk about anybody. But when I say you know who you are, you know what kind of lifestyle you live. He got to have this. I don't date a man that don't make $100,000. Who the hell are you? Did you did the clouds shake and you fell out of heaven and you have conditions like that? No, you're a human being too. If I cut you, you're going to bleed just like if somebody cut me. So why do you think you're perfect? First of all, one, nobody's perfect. Two, people will die trying to get it right. Let's just be honest about it. A lot of people are gone trying to get it right. And I have more respect for a woman and a man. No, I'm just gonna take the man out. I have more respect for a woman that try to do right than one that's loving a man with conditions. Most women, like I said before for the late comments, most women say, I want you to love me the way I want to be loved unconditionally, which is fine. But you're going to love that man with conditions. He have to do this, he have to do that. If not, on to the next one, or I'll just be by myself. So you go, that's going into a relationship like a woman having a big bank account from her husband just in case something goes wrong. That's pretty much how that goes. So no, we do us do a favor. Cut out the conditions. If you like him, be with him. If you see a future with him, notice I said future. If you see a future with him, go for it. If you see hope within that guy, when everybody else see this guy's a turd, and he might be a turd in your eyes sometime, but there's a spark of hope, go for it. Because that same person you dissed, he'll turn around and get his life together. He'll become some wealthy guy, and you'll be still punching the clock when you could have went with him. But people don't stay around for the hard part. Remember, I said this in the podcast before. People want the glory and the fame when the castle's already built. Where were you at when we had to lay the bricks and the mortar down to put on the bricks to build a foundation? You were nowhere around. But now you want to come in and scoop half of the glory up. No, you didn't help me, so why should I help you? But don't everyone have conditions to us? No. I'm not saying. See, this is what happened when you come in late. No, I'm just messing with you. No, you're right. Everybody don't have conditions. I would never say that. I said most men and most women have conditions because I always put it down the middle. Yeah, most men and most women have conditions, but you pretty much hear the condition part out of women, not the I'ma love him unconditional just like he loves me. The man gotta have a gig. He works, you work, he make $50,000 a year. You make $90,000 a year. But for some strange reason, you think that guy is not on your level. You have a lot of geniuses that work at McDonald's. You have a lot of brainstorm children or adults that work at Burger King, Wendy's, that work at anywhere. It can be anywhere. Just because you make little money, that don't destroy your character. Hey, Miss Smile, that don't destroy your character. But you can't look down on these brothers and say, he don't make enough for me. Notice what you're saying. He don't make enough for me. You're not saying, or he don't make enough for us, or you know what? We gonna start off like this. Let's put our money together and build as one. No, he don't make enough for me. So by that being what? You're saying what? You're thinking of yourself. Most women push men to get better jobs just so they can get better things. Once again, this isn't a stab at women. I just know because I know women that did stuff like that. Some people wake up, some people don't. So you got to be real careful with that. So once again, love me unconditionally. If I was a woman, and I'll say, hey, I want you to love me unconditionally. And unconditionally, that means the biggest love you can get. That's like freaking, in my world, that's like Midnight or The Rush or Erasure or something like that. Those are my biggest artists right about now. But I'm going to love you with the condition of what you can do for me. What about she's better not gain weight? Well, I'm sorry. What about she better not gain weight or she needs to dress up all the time? It all depends on what kind of dressing up you're talking about. It all depends what kind of dressing up you're talking about. Because I don't want to see a woman with a do-rag on every day or a bonnet or jogging pants. No, you're a woman. If you're a woman, act the role of a woman. See, back in the days, women wasn't allowed to wear pants because pants are made for men. That's why, and I'm glad you said that, Miss DeRoe. That's why God laid the law down. And see, everything I say, everything I do, everything that's in this world, in the world of the light or the world of the darkness, it all reflects back to one word: Bible. You know how you're supposed to dress. That's why he told women, hey, Katrina. That's why he told women, hey, dress accordingly. It's not about dress with your breasts out, put the tightest pants on, because he already knew I'm making humans. Humans are not perfect. They're going to see for what you're wearing, and you can cause men to fall. Yes, women can cause men to fall. That's been going on like that, like I always say, ever since God talked to Moses. Is it a bad thing? I'll leave that to the Creator. I can't put nobody in heaven or hell, but you know what you do. And for the men, I'll speak on that too, Tanisha. And for the men, if you're dating a plus size woman, just date a plus size woman. Don't date her thinking you're going to change her. Hey, you too fat or you getting too big. If you want her to lose weight, there's a more respectable way to do things. Like, sweetie, maybe it's time we both need to work out. Oh man, look, I'm gaining weight too. Come on, let's go work out. You can't be, oh, you're fat. You're sleeping with that fat person. You're buying that fat person things. You're going on vacations with that fat person. So guess what? You must love. I was just going to say that, Katrina. You must love her for what she is. Not a problem, but you can't. You can't trip. You can't trip on that, because most of the time, most women won't trip on men that's big. They won't. They'll talk about them, which is fine. Me personally, I'll talk about anybody. I'm Captain Signified. That's a family trait that runs in the family. But just because I talk about you, that don't mean I mean it. No. I mean, I would never call a plus size woman just fat in her face. Shut your fat self up. No, that'll hurt her feelings. Unless she strike back at me. Unless she's striking me first, then I'm going in for the kill. But you got men and women, we have to stop putting conditions on things that we already have. Excuse me. We got to stop putting conditions on things. If you know that woman is like that, you can't say, well, you got to the 12 of midnight to do this or do that. She's been doing it for 13 years. Either you're going to encourage her or you're not. Either you're going to encourage him or you're not. And just because you think the grass is green on the other side, well, I got a trick for you, or I got a whip for you. It's not. It never was. The grass is never like that. That's a made up theory anyway. The grass is never green on the other side. Never. Because if you screw over a good man, if you screw over a good woman, and I mean, when I said this before, this person is doing his job as a man. This woman is doing her job as a woman. And if you say, hey, I don't want this anymore, I outgrew you, this and such and such, you will never find happiness again. Never. Because the Most High is going to see that you don't, because you don't screw over good people. How many people we know, how many celebrities then told us stories? After all of these years, they got back together, because once you're in love with somebody, truly, madly, deeply in love with somebody, love is not supposed to die, because love comes from the Creator. That's who put love in husband, wives, in your heart, in your life. He puts that in. Love don't die. So people say, oh, this and that. Now, I'm not saying you can't fall out of love with an idiot or a crazy gal, crazy woman that's beating the hell out of you, or she's doing stupid stuff. Yeah, you can. But if he or she is breaking a neck for you, doing what he's supposed to do as a husband, I always keep a husband and wife because I think it sounds more professional. Doing what he's supposed to do, there's no reason to say, we need to talk. I don't feel this anymore. Or, I'm not in love with you anymore. What the thing was, you went in with your emotions, and now you got the devil in your head feeding you all kind of things he used to do. Well, maybe he used to do this. Maybe he used to do that. And you just sitting there taking it in like, yeah, maybe he don't love me no more. Your day's coming too. But back to what I was saying about women want men to love them with conditions. But, I mean, women want men to love them unconditionally, but women, no, did I say it right? Yeah. A woman want a man to love them unconditionally, but a woman won't love a man. A woman will love a man with conditions. It should never be like that. Why do you think so many marriages and relationships are going wrong? Have anybody ever stopped to realize that? You know how as black people is, oh, well, maybe it didn't work. No, there's a problem somewhere. There's a problem between her and him, or maybe he's the problem, or maybe she's the problem, but nobody stopped to rectify what the problem is. Remember, I don't remember what podcast it was. It wasn't too far away. And I was talking about the vows of a marriage: love, sickness and health, the death do you part, and I can't remember it. Good or bad, sick, whatever. Your husband can get on your nerves. Your wife can get on your nerves. Your wife can get on your nerves so bad that you can say, hey, I'm finna build me a bat cave. You can get on her nerve and she say, hey, I'm finna go out somewhere or go hang with the friends or just do whatever, start sewing, whatever. I need a quiet room. All those things are good and fun. There's nothing wrong with a bat cave. There's nothing wrong with him having time to himself. There's nothing wrong with you having time to yourself. But you're not supposed to bring hate into your relationships. That goes for me. That goes for y'all watching. That goes for any other nationality, any race. Because once you bring that hate in a relationship, it's hard to get it out. A little levers the whole lump. And then you got a problem. But when that do occur, those vows you took, that's when they supposed to kick in. Well, he get on my nerve, but I love him. She get on my nerve, but I love her. Once you start looking at that field, all the good things he or she did, you will start remembering them. That's going to make you fall in love with that person even more. But nobody wants to stand to fight the fight. Everybody quick to just up and leave. Like you're going to find something better. You're not, because once you screw over a good person, now I'm not saying screw over a crazy person. Once you screw over a good person, it's going to be hard to fill in that void, whether we like it or not. And this isn't, once again, this isn't a stab at anybody, because I don't want nobody getting on this show thinking I'm trying to talk about them. Never. This is Pico. This is my show Unplugged. This is what I do. I call it, I at least try to call it down the middle. So if you watch my show, I love you guys for watching it. I hope you keep watching it. If you don't, God bless you anyway. I have no hate for anybody. You can call me what you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner because I like to eat. Exactly, Katrina. Exactly. You have to communicate with each other. I'm just going to say this, most women in this world, not all, most women in this world can care less about what a man go through. I know because I've been there. They don't care. It's always her problem. She did, blah, blah, blah. The minute you sit there and you start talking, they be like, man, I don't want to hear this. What do they say? Be a man. Men hurt too. We got hearts that pump blood just like y'all do. Have anybody ever tried to get down to the root of the problem with the person you're with? So what's the problem? Why is this? Because whether we like it or not, women, this isn't a stab at y'all. It's not. Men, we got it 5 billion times worse than y'all ever will have it. That's the way it's set up in the system. That's the way it's set up through life. Why do you think that when Section 8 came out back in the day, well, things are changing now. Well, back in the days, the man couldn't be in the house. If he was in the house, they would snatch your stuff away from you. But they threw a poster up and said, hey, because if he's there, he should be able to take care. Suppose that man is down on his luck. Suppose he is. I live in America just like y'all do. The government's supposed to help me just like it helped y'all. But no, because for some strange reason, we have to stand on our own 2 feet no matter what. It can be a freaking blizzard outside or buildings falling down like the end of the world. We just have to stand there and take the break. Hey, you move out the way, I gotta die. I gotta get this brick hit on me. Instead of you pushing me out the way and saying, hey, we both can live through this. No, I gotta take it because I'm a man. I have to take it. Well, this is 2023. Men are waking up now. That's why you see all these podcasts. And that's another thing. Look at all these podcasters out now. These brothers now, don't get me wrong, some of them are just plain idiots. I'm just going to say that now. Some of these podcasts these brothers be having are just stupid. They're degraded. They're trying to always down talk women. No, all women aren't bad. But have anybody ever stopped to wonder, how come all these men got podcasts now? It's because that's the only way we get to talk about what's going on in life, because nobody listens to us until it's too late. I know a lot of women that went their own way with their husbands and came back and tried to get back with them and say, hey, you know what? And there's nothing wrong with telling a man, hey, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, because a lot of men will tell a woman that. But a woman won't tell a man that. Not all of them. I got to keep saying that because y'all know how Facebook is. Not all of them. If you got a man, I don't care what your friends say. I don't even care what your mama say. You uplift that man if that's your man. You uplift him. I ain't say you got to do it every day. Be happy to see. How many women actually come home and be happy to see their guy? How many? But sometimes, not all the time, you have most men that be happy to see their girlfriends, but most women, not, because it's like a whole different world. You uplift that man no matter what. That's your man. That's the one you want to be with. It's your job to uplift him, not the other woman. Or, man, it's your job to uplift her, not the other man. No, I'm not saying you have to do it every freaking day. No, because you put nobody on the pedestal but the Lord. He's the only one that goes on the pedestal. In my book, I don't know about nobody else's book, but that's it. I will put no woman on the pedestal because now you're above God, and that's just not going to happen. I can have the utmost respect for you, but you got to have the utmost respect for me. How can two walk together except they agree? Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Why do you think the Lord was giving us all these hints and messages through the years? Because he knew 2023 was coming. Look at the world from 2023 to 2019. Look how big it changed. Look at it. And before it get better, before it get an inkling of an inch better, it's got to get a hell of a lot worse. So we all got decisions to make. But just remember, if you believe in God or not, that's your thing, that's your preference. I'm not here to convert anybody or persuade anybody. But hey, if you do, you're going to need them. So that means best be trying to live your life to the best of your ability through his eyes. Because you can't live your life through my eyes. My eyes are useless. They can get, my eyes get plucked out just like anybody else's. I can go blind just like anybody else. I can be on the deathbed just like anybody else. I can get sick just like anybody else. When you get sick, who you call to? But you want to do what you want to do all the days of your life and you think he's going to help you. Well, then you're a fool for believing that. So, that's like I always say, only people that can help us is our own people. You don't hear Chinese women, or Asian women, I'm sorry, you don't hear Asian women saying, I'm independent. You don't hear too many white or Caucasian women saying, I'm independent. You don't hear too many Arabic women saying that. No other race say that but black women. Why do you think they allow you to say that? Because the trick was always to get the man out the picture. Once you get your man out the picture, your relies and sources are gullible for anything. That's why a woman can tell a man, hey, I don't need you. And she's probably right. She can make money on her own. But love isn't money. It was never about money. It was never about money. I know if I was rich, I was a millionaire, a billionaire, or just living wealthy, I would want somebody to share that wealth with. Because I'll get tired of doing stuff by myself. Let that be food for thought for you guys. My time is up. Gotta go. Thank you guys for watching. I need everybody to watch. Everybody that watch this show to do me a favor. Hit that like button. Feel free to comment. Feel free to share the content. You got my blessings on there when it's fine with me. Black man, continue to wake up. Oh, I'm sorry, my allergies. Black man, continue to wake up. Black woman, continue to wake up. You have a lot of black women on these podcasts now. They actually see what men are going through and they're feeling sorry for black men now because it was so bad for us. Back in the 80s, I mean, I'm a 70s baby raised in the 80s. But it's so bad now. Stop degrading your own people because one day you're going to need that man. Just like one day that man's going to need you. But we can't get nothing done if we going neck and neck with each other. No. Take a seat. Black women, take a seat. Sometimes it's just best to shut up and listen. And I'm not using the parable of, well, you know what, hey, children should be seen or heard. No, sometimes it's just best to be quiet. Remember, women think emotionally, men think logically. Who's best to run something if you're thinking emotionally? Nothing's going to get done. But if you got somebody that's thinking logically, not on your freaking speed. And that's another thing. Just because stuff don't work for you and he's not getting his life together just because at the speed of sound, because that don't make him a bad guy. It don't make him a bad guy. You stick with him. Because can nothing bring a man out of the ashes but a woman that's willing to stick with him? He'll do anything for that woman. He'll do anything, pretty much everything. The race is not given to the swift or the strong, people. It's the ones who endure to the end. This is your boy Pico, man. I want to thank you guys for listening. And you just heard another exciting episode of Unplugged. You know where to find me at. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Just type in YouTube, type in my name, Pico Black. Hit that notification bell, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. My TikTok, my TikTok is Pico City. Hit that follow button. My Instagram is Pico Black 74. Hit that follow button. I want to thank you guys for listening. You already know how to do it. Black man, do me a favor. Encourage the black woman, lift her up. Black woman, do me a favor. Same thing in reverse. Encourage the black man, lift him up, because at the end of the times, all we have is each other. Enough fighting with each other, man. Let's get it right, because And right about now, in the world's eyes, we're scum of the earth. And I hate to say this, but we're proving them right. We're proving them right. So let's work together. Let's get it together, man. Keep God first no matter what you do in this life. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your boss. I don't care about none of that. Keep the man upstairs first in your life. Pray more. Get on your knees and pray. You'll find out a lot of things if you do. Because we need God. I'm just going to be honest about it. Now, you can be an atheist. Hey, it don't matter to me, but we need God. He's the only one that can get us out of this. Why you think he haven't got us out of this yet? Because so many of us turned our backs on him. Remember, we were supposed to be the head, not the tails. Now we're the tails and they're the heads. But that's it for today, man. My time is up. Thank you, guys. Be sure to watch out my page. Be sure to have a look at on my page. Between 6:30 and 7 o'clock, I'll put a topic up if I do a show, but my work schedule is kind of crazy right about now. And I'll be tired when I get off. I don't even mind. I ain't paid my PlayStation in so long. But anyway, I'm just acting crazy. If you guys got something for me to talk about, because I've seen a lot of new faces in here. Hi, people that just joined in. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys come back. To the new people, if you got a topic for me to discuss, feel free to send me an inbox. Hey, Pico, can you talk about this? If you want to be anonymous, just leave it. I don't want nobody to know I sent it to you, but can you talk about it? If not, you can. If you want to put it on my page and say, hey, can you talk about this? If you do it that way, people are going to know you sent it, because a lot of people like to be anonymous, which is fine, because people like to start stuff. Let's just be honest. But that's going to do it for today, man. I thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, feel free to like, comment, and share. I'm fine with that. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. And my allergies is messing up. That's why I keep making these crazy faces, because I'm trying not to sneeze. See you guys in the next episode of Unplugged. I'm Pico Black, and I'm out of here. Take care of yourself and each other, man. Later.